When grilled about the incidents by the rebel media, Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Ayanna Pressley all refused to condemn the violence, or to even speak to the camera. Before walking away 124, Omar was later caught laughing on camera about the questions she was asked as she stepped into a van with AOC and their handlers before driving away, demonstrating her refusal to take the issue seriously. 125. MSNBC's Chris Hayes, Trump supporters must be confronted and destroyed. 126-127. Borat director Larry Charles called for far-left activists to arm themselves in preparation for war against Trump supporters. 128. Representative Matt Gaetz receives death threats from unhinged leftists. 129. Senator Jon Tester of Montana urges Democrats to punch Trump in the face. 130. Senator Cory Booker, who has struggled with homosexual issues, stated that, "My testosterone sometimes makes me want to feel like punching Trump." 131. Democratic Socialists of America promote violence against ICE agents. 132. An Islamic Florida man was charged by the FBI for threatening President Trump's life. 133. Representative Ocasio-Cortez threatened violence if the House passes an anti-BDS resolution. 134. Ocasio-Cortez claims Palestinians have no choice but to riot. 135. Ilhan Omar retweeted a Twitter post promoting violence against U.S. Senator Rand Paul. 136. The Gilroy shooter who killed 3 people at a California garlic festival started a grassroots campaign at his school, Santa Clara University in California, to fight back against the costs of a college education, which buries millions of students under a mountain of debt. 137. The shooter is said to be Iranian Shia. 138. 139. An unhinged leftist woman ambushed a priest and violently pushed him off the stage at a Catholic worship service in Brazil, to the outrage of the 50,000 people in attendance at the service, leading to her arrest by police soon after. 140. 141. A minority art gallery owner was attacked for wearing a MAGA hat. 142. A group of immature Antifa punks childishly threw eggs and drinks at MAGA hat-wearing Trump supporters, as well as injuring an innocent bystander in the assaults, in an incident in Seattle. 143. 144. Seattle police, acting in dereliction of their duty, did nothing about the Antifa assailants. August 2019. Liberalism in 2019 America, death camps for Trump supporters now. 145. Violence at federal facilities and against federal officers escalated when prominent Democrats falsely referred to holding facilities for human traffickers, dope smugglers, gang members, and other persons seeking illegal entry, as concentration camps. Reddit's pro-Trump community complained of violent left-wing threats against its members. 146. Tom Arnold fantasized about killing Donald Trump Jr. 147. 148. Trump Jr. called Arnold a piece of garbage in an indirect response to that tweet on another tweet, while Arnold received heavy criticism for the death threat tweet and was reported by several responders to the FBI and the Secret Service, who last visited him on October 25, 2018 after he made an open threat against President Trump in a Twitter post on October 19 that year. In Canada, gender-confused sexual predator and vexatious litigant Jonathan Jessica Yaniv, who has stirred up public controversy for his inappropriate online behavior toward underage girls and has filed multiple frivolous lawsuits against female aestheticians to get their businesses shut down for their refusal to wax his male genitalia, and has also faked being physically disabled in order to get unwarranted sympathy, brandished a taser during an online podcast with conservative blogger Blair White and, in a separate incident, threatened a reporter from conservative website Press for Truth with pepper spray, then frantically pulled a fire alarm in an elevator he escaped into in desperation even though there was no fire, when the reporter tried to question him about his illegal activities. 149. Under Canadian law, possession of pepper spray and tasers for civilian use against people is illegal, as is sending a false fire alarm. 150. Thereby putting Yaniv in legal jeopardy for these threats/actions in addition to what he is already under criticism for. As a result of the Blair White podcast, Yaniv's home was subsequently targeted in an RCMP raid and search hours later, and Yaniv was arrested and charged with possession of stun guns, pepper spray, and bear spray before being released from police custody the following morning. 151. When Rebel media reporter Kian Bext later attempted to get comments from Yaniv regarding his current legal troubles, including his blatant abuse of the legal system to shield himself from criticism for his actions, Yaniv's Eastern European-born mother attempted to run interference for her son by viciously attacking Bext, who warned that he would press charges against her if she tried it again. Then the Yanivs attempted to block Bext from leaving in his car, which Bext correctly pointed out was illegal, as Jonathan Yaniv tried to sic the police on him. 152 Yaniv's mother, a deranged leftist and supporter/enabler of her son's gender confusion, has also run interference for Yaniv on several other occasions by aggressively attacking reporters who attempt to interview him and engaging in unhinged profane rants against the reporters. 153 Yaniv subsequently found himself in provincial court in Vancouver for a hearing on the illegal weapons charges, for which he faces a maximum of 6 months in prison per count if convicted, in December 2019, where he bragged about getting another journalist arrested based on false claims against the journalist by Yaniv, then went into a profane outburst against Bext, who was present at the courthouse covering the hearing for Rebel News, and attempted to attack him, leading to Yaniv being restrained by a courthouse sheriff as he hysterically demanded that sheriffs throw Bext out of the courthouse. 155. When Rebel media reporter David Menzies tried to interview Yaniv about his legal issues at a later date, Yaniv cowardly ran away from Menzies at first and again attempted to call the police while hiding inside the lobby of his apartment building. Then a few minutes later, Yaniv assaulted him several times with a cane, which he uses more as an offensive weapon than to aid him with his pretended disability, while his mother again repeatedly and aggressively ran interference for him in another deranged rant, and a misguided leftist woman who came to the Yaniv's defense called Menzies a Trump lover before the RCMP arrived to deal with the incident. 156. Dressed in the signature all-black, Antifa shooter Connor Betts during the Dayton nightclub attack. Betts tweeted, "I want socialism, and I'll not wait for the idiots to finally come round." 6 African Americans were murdered. 157. Representative Maxine Waters threatened to kill President Trump in front of an LGBTQ+ audience. 159. Trump advisor Stephen Rogers, a former FBI terrorist task force member and a Navy reservist, received a death threat from deranged leftist Steve Brown in a Facebook post after appearing on TV to defend President Trump. 160. Rogers reported Brown's threat to his hometown Nutley, New Jersey's police department, where he once worked, and the FBI and the Secret Service have also been alerted. Leftist anti-Trump California professional protester Jessica Aguilar was convicted of battery for slapping a Trump supporter during leftist attempts to disrupt a pro-Trump rally in Orange County. 162 Aguilar was sentenced to 20 days in jail, 10 days of community service and 3 years of probation for the incident. Illinois State Democrat Senator Martin Sandoval apologizes after someone attending his fundraiser held a mock assassination of President Trump at that fundraiser. 163. Antifa threatened a theater for hosting a discussion on political violence. 164. Washington Post token conservative Jennifer Rubin called for the GOP to be burned down. 165. 166. Iowa College professor Jeff Klinsmann, who also admitted to being an Antifa member, was fired after saying of evangelical Christians, "Kill them all and bury them deep in the ground," and of Trump, "Yeah, I know who I'd clock with a bat." 167. 168. 169. Left-wing Italian politician Alessandro Neviani called for a noose to be prepared for conservative rival Matteo Salvini. 170. Anti-Brexit former BBC journalist Terry Christian publicly and spitefully posted on Twitter that Brexit voters should get infected with a good virulent strain of flu and starve and die. 171. In response, Christian was verbally ripped apart on Twitter by many critics, with several of them posting a photo of a grinning Christian posing with disgraced media personality and pedophile Jimmy Savile. Antifa disrupted a straight pride parade in Boston on August 31 and started a riot in which several police were injured at the event. 172. 37 of the Antifa protesters were arrested on various charges, including battery of officers and assault using a dangerous weapon. 173. Unhinged leftist Celicia Hunt was arrested and charged with maliciously attempting to damage or destroy a government building by fire after she threw a Molotov cocktail into a USCIS office. 174. Significant terror threats against ICE agents 175.